to 1080p?
Yeah, it should be. I can double check.
All right, so let's see. Let's spool it up.
Yeah, it's 1080p.
All right. It says that we are live.
Oh,
yeah, bitch.
Let's go.
Yeah, bitch. We made it.
Fucking finally. It only took how long?
It only took like 5 months, motherfucker.
Damn, man. It's fucking exciting to start this show, man.
For real, son. This is like really fucking exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's taken so long to get to this point. I want to thank some people before we get started. I want to thank my barber, Ashley. She's real as fuck. She's Brooklyn as fuck. She made sure that, the edge was like super clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shout out to Ashley. I always pay her more than what she asked for. And, she always hooks me up. I want to thank Clinks. Let me talk to you about Clinks. Clinks kind of fucked up. He was supposed to have this done over a month ago, but he's based out in the UK, so you could check him out. CLYNX.UK for graphics effects shit that you may need. Definitely check him out. He was up until the wee hours of his morning to try to help us get launched. A lot of the stuff that we wanted to get done did not get done.
No.
However, we are doing this shit anyway. We are here. And just like the title should say, we are building the plane as we fly it. I took that from Kevin Samuels. We'll be discussing him a lot because a lot of where we're going with the Talking Shit podcast, a lot of it is going in the vein of supporting the men out there, the young men, the middle-aged men, the older men, men in society who, for whatever reason are dissatisfied with what's out there media-wise. So we're going to be, there's definitely going to be a platform where we are going to be very male-centric, very pro-male, not anti-female.
No, not anti-female.
Not anti-female, because we love the ladies.
Of course.
But, we definitely want to do proper service to men because in the media, men are not properly represented. A lot of the male-related content you'll see will be decidedly anti-male. And it's okay. I mean, most of the consumer dollars that are spent in society are spent by women. So if you want to make money as a corporation, you got to sell to women. But we're not really selling to women as much. Yes, we are selling to women. We're selling to women who still love and respect men, who understand that men are not optional. We're not obsolete. We're not disposable. That we are necessary for a healthy society. So in a way, we are going to be very firmly in the manosphere, but we are going to we're going to try to bring back a bit of balance to the discourse out here on the internet. Today, we're only on Twitch because YouTube is a piece of shit, okay? We tried to set it up on YouTube so that we can go live on both platforms. And, it's going to take 24 hours to activate live streaming. Fuck you. So we're going to be on Twitch today. We're going to upload the show on YouTube, which is going to be the same handle, youtube.com/user/TALKIN_SH_T. So we want to welcome you to the pilot episode. We're very happy to have any viewers on our pilot episode today. So let's get started talking to Captain Paul. Do you want a little Captain in you? Talk to him. Talk to him.
Man.
Tell the world who Captain Paul is.
Man,
What's good?
So, it's been a while. There might be some of you that have followed me from a previous moniker, which I still go by, is Captain Paul. I used to make like Call of Duty, a lot of different video game content, skits, all that crap. And it's been a while since I've actually made any type of serious YouTube content or Twitch type of content. And Dr. Evil, man, he really got me back into this, saying he wanted to start up a podcast. And out of everyone I've known, I thought, especially with you, Evil, that this would be the best place to have like such an honest and fucking interesting discourse, because we agree on some things, but we also disagree. So it's not just going to be like two dudes.
It's not going to be a circle jerk. You ain't touching my dick.
Just two dudes jerking each other off. It's going to be actual, real conversations, which I think, like, you know, I think we both could kind of agree the past few years has just like gone out the window, right? Like a lot of people just like staying in their echo chambers, which, you know, I like to get challenged. Evil likes to get challenged. And, you know, that's the excitement for me that brings us back. Like, it's just such a new medium to do things. Like, I've never really done anything like live camera that much besides Papa T. And, man, I'm super excited to start this, man. It's been like, you guys don't realize, it has been like a project we have been planning for months and months and months. Man, just to finally start this show live. Oh man, I'm excited, man. I'm really excited, especially with how much topics we can just touch upon and talk about, man. This is just going to be exciting, man. And I hope, like Evil said, this ain't an anti-woman. Both of us have very special women in our lives, so it's nothing like that. But have you seen the past few years? It's just easy to hate on men, and I think that young men, you know, even grown men, need people, advocates, to talk to them about real issues that doesn't really get covered by a lot of people, because it is just kind of easy to punch down and just, you know, just target a man, where I think this will be a good space to really have some honest conversations about a lot of the positive things masculinity brings into a lot of things in the world, but also we'll talk about maybe some troubling shit that needs to be addressed. So that's why I'm mainly excited for this podcast, man, just where we can go with it. And I know me and Evil are going to create something pretty special, and I hope you guys follow and subscribe, because it's going to be a fun ride.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about myself. For those who don't know me, I am Dr. Evil Genius, and I want to talk to you about how I kind of got started and how I met Paul. So way back in the day, in a world far, far away, I was watching Call of Duty content on YouTube, and I think I started watching the Drifters. I was watching the Thunder 402s of the world, and I was just like, wow, this is fucking awesome that these guys are able to do this. And, you know, you had the gameplay guys like, who's the guy that just quit? There's been a few. The Texas guy.
Oh, is it Drifter?
No, he lives in Texas, but I'm talking about the gameplay guy. The last username he was going with is the Thomas Crown.
It's not ringing a bell. I'll probably, like, when we find out the name, probably figure it out. But no,
he was he was like the Call of Duty gameplay guy. Why? I don't know why I can't remember his name. The black guy.
Oh, Mark of J.
Mark of J. Thank you. Serial killer in the chat. Thank you for helping us out. Like, I was watching the Mark of J. I was watching another black dude in Philly. I don't know why I can't remember his name. I haven't watched his content in a minute, but anyway, like, I was watching like a bunch of YouTubers, and I was like, wow, like I learned a little bit about how to play Call of Duty watching the YouTubers, you know, different guys. So I met this one guy. I ended up in a party with this one guy. His name was I Am Money 253. And at the time, he had a YouTube channel, and he had triple-digit subscribers. I was like, holy shit, I'm playing in a party with a YouTuber. So, of course, the heartbeat starts pumping. You know what I'm saying?
Excited.
Yeah, I was excited, you know. And I'm just like just trying to go crazy. And I put up a gameplay in Black Ops 2 on one of the DLC maps. I put up a gameplay which was like all world for me. It would be like the Mark of J going like 120-1 in a team deathmatch where you can only get to 100 kills. I think I had like 40 something kills and like 12 deaths or something. But this was back when I was a mediocre player, and I was doing it with a marksman rifle and some other weird fucking
like a weird
pistol.
setup?
Yeah, I had this weird ass setup. And so I had a YouTuber ask me, "Hey, do you mind if I use your gameplay on my channel?" And I'm like, I was like flattered, like, fuck yeah. He shouted me out in the video, and I was like, yo, why can't I do this? So then I went and I looked at this other video, and I heard this guy cursing up a motherfucking storm. No, none other than JD from New York, 206.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? My boy JD. And it was like, JD from NY, you mean there are people in New York doing this shit? Like, for real?
Yeah, man.
And then I really started thinking about it. I got money from my lady. Shout out to my lady. We've been together over 15 years. Shout out to my other lady. We've been together. This year will be 9 years. So it's been about 8.5 years. So shout out to the ladies in my life. But I looked at it, and she basically, gave me a bunch of money. I bought a used Lenovo laptop, and started making gameplay commentaries off of that with the PS3. And then I started making videos. So I got a lot of inspiration from a lot of different people. But by the time that Call of Duty Ghosts was about to come out, and I had met Captain Paul, and I was watching his videos, and Captain Paul, was doing the voice manipulation shit. His editing was on point.
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, like, this dude is on his grind. And then I started like partnering with him with some other YouTubers. And then right before Call of Duty Ghosts came out, like, we were kind of on the fence on whether we thought the game was going to be any good or not.
Yeah.
So me and him, we had a phone conversation, and then we did this shit with Skype where we tried to like line up the fucking audio together. And so we had this dual commentary thing going on. We put it on both of our channels. One of my ladies, she made a good thumbnail for me. Shout out to her, because she does like graphic design and shit like that.
That's pretty
and
fire.
So Captain Paul was the first person that I ever did a collaboration with on YouTube. And it was probably one of the best quality videos that I had. So, if you fast forward to 2020, May of 2020, you guys already know the murder of George Floyd happened.
Yeah.
And one of the people that I got a phone call from was Captain Paul at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Random.
Right. So you want to like take them through that conversation, what it was like when you hit me up after Derek Chauvin murdered him?
Well, it was a very like interesting conversation, because like me and you would talk sporadically, like over the years. It was never like constant, right? And I just remember like when we would have conversations, and that's the thing that I always kind of, not to sound corny, cherish. It's like it would be an in-depth conversation, wouldn't be no surface level bullshit. And I was like, man, like, who the fuck could I talk to about this? Because like this is just wild, bro. Like the shit that happened, I saw the camera, I saw the fuck shit went down, and I'm like, holy fuck, like it kind of blew my mind. And I was like who could I actually have a real in-depth and like raw conversation with, that's just someone that's not afraid to kind of give their viewpoint and just kind of give their diagnostics with it. But it just, yeah, it was like 1:30 in the morning when I called, because I remember I woke up and I was like, yo, I just want to talk to somebody. I give you a call. I was really surprised you even answered the phone call. And I want to say we were on the phone for probably like at least an hour and a half, if not longer than that. And we were just talking, and just the more and more we had a conversation about like a very, very like grave and serious topic, it was like, shit, like it'd be kind of nice to do this more frequently. You know what I mean? Like have an actual discourse like that. I think this is what people need to hear. Because politically, you know, me and Evil are a little bit different when it comes to a lot of things politically, but I think as core human beings, we believe in having good morals. You know what I mean? So, you know, and just with that conversation about the George Floyd killing and about, you know, just how everything went down with that, we just kept talking. And then, you know,
sometimes I go to call it the George Floyd killing, and then I have to remind myself over and over again, that was a murder.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's still like, it's still baffling to see people defend the way the cop did what he did and not actually do proper protocol to give treatment. But that's a whole different topic. We're definitely going to discuss, if, you know, that we're definitely going to discuss. And it's just like, for me as a whole, man, it's just like, it made me realize, like, man, like, we have some really good conversations. And I think, you know, we've done some collaborations in the past, and that kind of, what would you say? It's weird as this sounds, that was kind of like the start of me and you actually having, like, oh, we should probably start doing a show together. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a little bit revisionist history. So yeah. I'm the one with the near photographic memory. So I'm going to take the viewers through the timeline. After George Floyd was murdered, I did a Call of Duty live stream, and I clipped the intro and turned it into a video on the Dr. Evil Genius YouTube channel. And one of my best friends of all time, Messiah Rhodes, he took it to his production company and pitched them an idea to do a show together. So those of you that know, I am co-hosting Black Power Magic Hour on the Act.tv platform, where we go live on Twitch and YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Twitch and Facebook, excuse me. So I started doing that show, which is very social justice focused.
Yeah.
On that show, I'm the right-wing guy on that show, comparatively with my co-host, Messiah Rose. So shout out to Messiah, one of my best friends that I've ever had in life, through good times and bad. So shout out to him. So as time went along, we had a demonstration in Kenosha, Wisconsin, after I forget, Jacob Blake. After Jacob Blake had an officer grab him by his shirt and then fire 7 shots in his back, and got away with it. You know, you shoot a guy 7 times in the back, and you know it's all right. But then when people started to demonstrate peacefully, you had a young man go over there by the name of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
And he's busting off his gun. And I'll let Paul tell y'all how that went with his friends, because that's really what gave birth to this show. So tell them about when you called me after the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, because I think that I watched a video on your channel.
Yeah.
And talk to me about what that experience was like, talking to the people that you knew when that came out.
Well, it's kind of like a very interesting conversation, because there's most of the people I know, they lean a certain way politically, right? And
what is that way? We're not going to shy away from it.
No, I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm just kind of giving a full scope of it. A lot of the guys I have political conversations, they're more conservative, more Republican, right? It's actually funny. A lot of the kids I went to school with are more liberal, more Democrat. There's nothing wrong with that. But the Rittenhouse situation to me was very peculiar, because to me, in the first place, is if I'm that dude's dad, you know what I mean, that dude's parent, I'm not putting him in that situation. I'm like, if you go into we locking up your gun. We're taking your shit. You're staying the fuck home. You're grounded.
He didn't even have a gun.
No, he got it there though.
Yeah, he went to somebody in another state because he knew he wasn't supposed to have the gun. So he had to have somebody go get a gun for him in another state to give him possession of it, because he could not legally get possession of the weapon himself.
Well, my thing is, though, and like, not to go completely off base with this conversation, is that if I'm a parent, right?
Nothing's off base. This is our show, motherfucker.
If I'm a parent, bro, I'm not letting my kid go. Like, you know, and I know the mother was there with him, if I recall, but like,
Nah, I heard that she drove him over the line.
She drove him over the line. But regardless, that's still bad parenting because I'm like, if I know my kid has a certain worldview on things, and I'll say this from everybody, everyone's fucking sheltered until they really see some like really fucked up shit. I don't know, like what intention did the mother have even bringing him over the line, right? I'd be like, listen, that's like something I don't want my kid anywhere near, right? Like what is having yourself armed at a protest like that where emotions are extremely high, people are extremely angry, like what is that going to solve? Right. Like what is that going to bring? You're not going in there with good intentions. You're not going in there with like
No, I got to stop you there. I'm gonna push back on the bad intentions thing. For one reason, one thing changed my perception of what actually happened that night is that he actually carried a first aid kit with his rifle. Like if he went there just with the rifle, then I would be thinking he's looking to find some niggas to go shoot.
Yeah, okay, but like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, he brought a first aid, bro. Like, congratulations.
Yeah, but most people that are going out there with bad intentions are not going there with tools to.
I'm not saying the kid's fucking evil, right? That's just like he dreamed of this fucking thing and just wanted to mass shoot everybody. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, dude, is why the fuck put yourself in that situation in the fucking first place? That's what I just don't understand, man. Like I have guns, I have rifles, I have pistols, I have shotguns. I don't see the point. I'm never gonna go to a protest where, you know, let's be honest, we don't know how fucking the situation's gonna play out, dude. You're gonna have somebody.
Oh, by the way, did y'all heard what he said, right? Don't go to Paul's house looking for no smoke, because you're gonna find the fire, son.
Well, like my thing is, bro, is you don't know how people are gonna react. Like you might go with a rifle armed and good intentions and all that stuff, and like you want what the best is, but you don't know what that dude beside you's thinking, right?
Right.
Like that dude beside you's like probably on there. He's like, yo, what's this dude doing?
Yeah, you change the entire.
Like
you change everything.
The energy shifts, and that's like, for me, as a white kid, that's like, how old was he? Like 18,
17.
19? Oh, 17. He was underage. That's right, because he was underage. Yeah. Is that like to me like? Why have that kid in the situation in the first place? Like, I think that's just poor parenting, right? Like, because if that was my kid, fuck you, Kyle. You're staying home and you're grounded.
Come on, Kyle.
No, it's just absolutely terrible, atrocious parenting for me. Yeah, you can go in a vacuum if you want to talk about the shootings, and this is where we're probably going to disagree. But if you go in the vacuum and just take all the minutia out of it and just in a vacuum the shootings itself, you can say he had a case for self-defense. Because
you say you can or you can't?
You can.
Okay.
You can.
How so?
Because like I'd have to revisit it because it's been so long. But I know the bald guy that got, I think it was shot in the head. The guy that was, and I'm not saying this, it was right for that guy to die, but I think was he the one that was the pedophile or something or some sex charge? The first guy, the one who approached Rittenhouse aggressively and was actually trying to grab his gun, and then Rittenhouse ended up discharging around the chamber and it hit him. So I
think I hit in the chest.
In the chest, what it was. I'd have to go. I don't want to speak completely out of turn, but you can make arguments for a couple of those cases where self-defense. The one with the skateboard, where the guy with the skateboard was coming in, that was the last shooting. No, that's the guy that was shot in the chest. The guy in the skateboard that was coming after him because Kyle stumbled, and the guy with the skateboard chasing him and tried to hit him. I guess that's the one where it's like skateboard, rifle. I don't know. Like you can make cases. I'd have to really look at the because I'm just fucked up in the head. I watch all the cameras and shit like this. I watch all the videos of this just to kind of get as much context as possible. Like in a vacuum, you can make a case for self-defense, but like I guess my biggest argument is like, why are you in there in the first place? You know what I mean? Like that's not your community. It's not your situation. Something tragic happened and you go in there armed, man. Like that's like, yeah, people are going to fucking break shit. And I don't necessarily agree with that. Like I don't agree in destroying local communities, but at the same time, bro, like a lot of people have a reason to be pissed off if a fucking innocent man is just murdered, you know?
Well, let's go back to the analysis of the shooting. Because I think there's like a stair-stepping thing. So I think that we're probably... The thing is, I don't inherently disagree with your analysis. I don't inherently disagree. And the main reason being is because the first guy, like I can see the case for how to say, I can see the case for self-defense in a vacuum. However, if you take a step back and you look at the entire situation, the person came at him with the skateboard because he was already shooting people that was unarmed, right? And another thing that people need to understand is that nobody found out about the sex crime
until after the
nobody found out. Yeah, nobody found out about the sex crime until after the dust settled. Well, so the guy that you're standing next to, you don't know what he's into, but you know that you're openly armed and he's not.
Well, and just to clear this up, so my viewpoint's perfect. I'm not saying his past crime history has any justifiable cause.
No, but people keep bringing it up.
Yeah, right. But like, I
don't even want to muddy the argument with that because we're trying to make him less of a victim.
No, and I get what you're saying. I'm just kind of like bringing to attention everything that everyone's saying and kind of giving you my own viewpoint where I'm just saying it's in a vacuum. I'm not just because someone fucking, mind you, they might be someone might be a piece of shit. Doesn't mean they need to get their fucking brain.
You know, you can get a sex crime charge for like going in an alley and taking a piss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know what that guy got caught out there for, which, is really none of my business between him, the state, and whoever raped him in the prison cell. But when I look at the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, only one of the 3 people he shot was armed. And incidentally, the one that was armed, he shot in the arm. So, yeah. The other 2 people, a lot of people saying, oh, somebody threw a Molotov cocktail out. It was a plastic bag. Somebody threw a plastic bag because they were trying to get him to stop shooting at people.
That's the one I fucking remember. The guy that got the guy's like bicep blown off. He's the one that like fucking fake surrendered to Rittenhouse and then he fucking pointed his gun up trying to shoot him. If you do remember with the pistol, there's some video out there.
I mean, but if you've seen him already shoot 2 people to death, you'll do whatever is necessary that you think is necessary to stop him.
He was the second person. Yeah, he was the second person that was shot. If the timeline. So
maybe he saw the first person get shot already. And he was trying to save lives. So you see what happens with 2 people with guns that don't know what they're doing? One thinks they're trying to save lives, and the other one thinks they're trying to save lives, but in the end, people's lives are taken. Nobody's life was really nobody's life was really saved by either one of their actions.
Well, this is my opinion, right? If you bring a firearm and you aim it at somebody, dude, you have to fully expect retaliation.
But I think he only aimed it at him because he had already shot someone.
Right. No, and I'm not saying like I understand it's a chaotic situation. Like me and you have the fucking perfect thing of hindsight, 2020, right? Like we can kind of break down the situation. What I'm saying is if you're willing to fucking aim a gun, man, like I'm not saying I don't want anyone to die. I'm just saying like fire the round. Like if you aim something down the fucking range, man, you better be willing to fucking shoot it. Like, that's my thing. You don't do this fake surrender bullshit. Like, if you feel like you have an immediate threat, you need to take down that target.
Right. And that's but also in a street situation, like we wouldn't say that somebody who fights in the UFC is automatically going to be a great fighter in the street because the rules of engagement are different. In the street, there are no rules. So you understand as somebody who has a lot of experience with guns that anything that's down target, you're only going to aim and put your finger on the trigger if you are ready to discharge your firearm.
Yeah.
But in the street, if you saw someone already shoot somebody that, you probably was marching with that was unarmed.
Yeah.
Then you're going to use any trick that you think that you can in the book to stop this person from shooting other people.
Well, my thing is this is why I think proper training. Like, this is gonna sound like a weird segue, but proper training is a lot of thing with firearms. Like, people need to be properly trained with it. It's like, this ain't the movies. This ain't like fucking James Bond. This ain't like fictional shit. Like, when you aim at anything down target and it's like, you better either send a round down range or expect fucking retaliation. Like if you're gonna have a firearm and you go into it where you actually aim at somebody and you're prepared to put a couple shots center mass, You better be expecting retaliation. I guess that's kind of my viewpoint. I'm not excusing, like I've stated, I don't think Rittenhouse should have been there in the fucking first place.
So, oh yeah, we're not even. That's not even part of the discussion right now. We're talking about the tactics and the motion. He could have been 47 years old, and it was his gun, and we're still gonna have the same kind of conversation as far as because what you saw was street warfare.
Yeah.
So all's fair in love and war. If I see somebody who's shooting at unarmed people, and I think that I have the firepower to stop him from shooting other people, I think that I would probably use the same. I would use the same tactic, like no, I'm here, because and one of the things that I ask people this: imagine if Kyle Rittenhouse, instead of on the street, had his rifle at a school.
Oh,
if a teacher had a gun in her jacket, and then she faked like she was surrendering, and then she pulls out and fires on him, would we say that she deserved it, or would we say that she was a hero? Because we know that that no one of any age should be bringing a gun onto school grounds.
Right.
So if we've already said that he A, shouldn't have been at the protest, and B, he should not have been in possession of a firearm at all, then why are we having the self-defense conversation? It's kind of like this, right? He committed several felonies by being in possession of the weapon, and then got into a situation where he was forced to fire that weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine if I ran up in Captain Paul's crib, right?
Yeah.
Am I not committing several felonies by running up in your crib?
Yeah, no, you are.
Now imagine if you go to defend yourself and the other people in your home, and you end up shooting me, or no, better yet, you point your gun at me as you're defending your castle.
Right.
But I brought a gun. I ran up in your house, and you pointed the gun at me. Can I claim self-defense in the commission of a felony?
No.
I can't claim that.
No.
Because I created the situation.
Yep.
With the breaking and entering, the burglary, the home invasion.
Yeah, but I guess my problem though with that one guy with the pistol that got his fucking bicep blown the fuck off is that he ran at him with his gun ready to fucking fire, and doesn't make it easy. Obviously, we're not everyone's just a fucking ruthless killer. So there's real fucking emotion to actually shooting someone. But I guess my argument is, why didn't he just fucking fire around if he thought it was such a...
But you know what? I think that he probably... See, the thing is
it's a hard conversation.
It's a hard conversation. It's a conversation I like to have because I think that it's really, really tough because, you might go and you may log a lot of hours at the gun range.
Right.
But to actually pull the trigger... on a live target, there is something that's going to stop you in your brain from crossing the line over into taking the life of another human being.
Right.
Kyle didn't seem to have any problem discharging his firearm on anybody who had a shadow.
I'm not excusing Kyle because, like I said, shouldn't have been there, but I think the first one, you could say life or like fight or fright reaction, because the guy's like, yeah, thank you, grabbing the barrel of his gun. He's like, oh fuck, and then because like you don't know how someone's gonna react when you get that rifle. Oh boom, shoot him dead.
But the thing is, you're still legally liable in those situations anyway.
100%. But like,
you know what I mean?
I guess my
how many times somebody robbing a convenience store accidentally shoots but you still tried to rob it. You're still going to death row.
Right, but I'm not arguing necessarily the punishment of his actions. What I'm saying is in that moment, right, and this is where I guess I'm kind of giving an out to the guy with the pistol. I think with Rittenhouse, with that situation, he just reacts, right?
Yeah.
Where I think that guy with the pistol is approaching Rittenhouse is like, he actually has to think for a second, like this whole different.
And he was older too. He was several years older.
And I think that's another conversation we can have is that I think when you're younger, you're not necessarily you're not thinking of the consequences of your actions. And I'm not saying
you took the words right out of my mouth.
You're not every 17-year-old's gonna be like Call of Duty fucking shooting everyone. But I am saying this is like a 17-year-old. You don't necessarily get the gravity of the situation you're in, and that's why
exactly.
I just personally, it's like such bad parenting. But anyways,
no, you said it.
It's just you don't understand, like, oh fuck, like if I do this shit, like I'm going to jail, like that like I'm going to big boy prison, like I better fucking not drop the soap type shit. And for me, it's just
those juvenile places, man. Don't front, you can get some of that drop the soap action in there. From what I hear, it's not a walk in the park in the juvenile facilities.
Well, it's funny too, because like I wasn't friends with him. I knew a friend went to juvie, and he said it's pretty fucked up. Like it's not like it's obviously
they're even more ruthless because they got more to prove.
Well, like it's funny because like everyone's got that machismo, like like I'm 17, 16, 18, about to go to real prison. Like I want to be that big dog on campus and shit on the juvie. So you kind of got some of them type of dudes. But for me personally, like just getting back to the shooting as a whole, it's like the guy with the pistol, obviously it's been a while since that shooting, and if we want to have a more in-depth conversation, I definitely think we both gotta really watch all the cameras, like kind of get everything, all the videos I should say, get like as much perspective as possible, because there's some things I might be remembering incorrectly, to be completely transparent. But from what I remember and how it went down, with him with that pistol, like if you're gonna go there and you're gonna aim and you're ready to do it, don't do a false don't get his attention, do a false surrender, man. Just obviously you gotta, when you're shooting, you gotta see what's beyond the target. But if you have a clean shot, take it. Like, I guess,
Yeah, but I think it was difficult for him in the moment, because when you do all of that training, when you do all the training at the gun range and you're aiming at paper and wood targets, it's very easy to pull the trigger. But when you're talking about, it's a life or death decision. Not only life or death to protect your own life, but life or death in the decision to take somebody else's life, potentially.
Yeah.
Because when you shoot center mass, you're not shooting to wound. You have to shoot to kill. You don't have a choice. J. Kinch, 47-1-471. You get the gravity of the situation when you leave your house with your weapon.
Can I because I guess my complaint, like, not complaint, my
I don't know if I agree with that.
Because you're 17, like, bro, like, I hate to say it. We really just
you think you know the gravity of the situation.
Like, when you're 17, bro, like, your biggest worry is getting head in a fucking bathroom from a chick at school. Like, there's nothing like insane, in my opinion, when you're 17. Mo? What's that?
Heady Mo?
Heady Mo. Dude, like my
sloppy toppy.
Jesus Christ. My thing is, bro, when it comes down to it, when you're 17, like, yeah, you should kind of realize, like, oh, I'm bringing a big boy gun. I'm ready to fucking do this. But when you're 17,
you don't really know.
You don't get that shit. Do you think, like, most of these kids that, and this is another argument I'll say, even though I do support the military, but like when a kid signs up at 18 for the military, do you really think they actually kind of grasp what they're getting into?
No, but that's what basic training is for.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but like when you're 18, when you're young, I even say 20 and under, even probably 22 under, a lot of kids don't necessarily understand the big gravity of the situation they go into if they went into Kenosha with a firearm. I think it was just a poor decision all around, and I don't know. It's a very difficult conversation to have, because, repeating myself, we have hindsight on our side right now. So like, oh, like this is what I would have done here, here, and here. But if I'm in that situation, I'm 17, bro. I don't know how the fuck I react. Like, maybe I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be like a seal, shoot. Maybe I'm a pussy and I run. I don't know.
That's why it's called fight or flight.
Exactly. You don't know how you're gonna react when you're that age.
Right.
So it's just it's a very interesting conversation in a vacuum to have about the shooting breakdown. But
this is what spawned the idea to do this show. Having conversations like this. I think we understood back then that, and the thing is, I don't think that anything that we're saying right now is particularly
wild,
egregious. I don't think that it's really a hot button. I don't think that we've said anything that is unreasonable. But how did your so-called friends react to you just saying shit that just kind of sounds reasonable.
Oh, they unfriended me. It was actually kind of crazy. It was wild. Like, dudes I've known for years unfriended me, called me brainwashed sheep. Bro, like, so many insults. Like, called me a libtard. It was, and it's funny. It was I was cracking up because like Evil knows how I am. I fucking I beef shit don't bother me. I was just dying laughing.
Yeah.
And
but it's eye opening when you see exactly what these people are made of.
And it's weird though, because like like, and I hate to say this, sometimes I think I fell into that, like, where I'm like, oh, only my liberal friends are like that, super brainwashed, right? Mm-hmm. And you kind of fall into that a little bit. That's why I try to stay out of echo chambers. I have friends from all sides, but like it was eye opening. Like some dudes I thought like, oh, we could actually have an open discourse about various, like, just complete shut eye, like blinders on. Like, if you don't view how I view, like you're evil or you're some like brainwashed. One guy called me a CNN lover or some shit. It was very weird. But yeah, like that's why for me, it was like, it just kind of spawned the intrigue. I'm like, like maybe it'd be good just to have some type of, not in the moment I was thinking this, but afterwards, like it'd be kind of nice, because me and Evil have conversations, like actually have good human discourses with someone that's willing to, I'm not saying bend their beliefs and like, oh, like if I believe the sky's fucking red, Evil be like, you're a dumbass, it's blue. I'm not saying like he's gonna say, oh yeah, it's red, but we're gonna actually have a conversation and kind of like, maybe we won't come to a consensus, but we'll at least be willing to hear each other out and get the other's viewpoints, which I think in a lot of world today that we see in social media, and especially like on the cesspool of social media platforms like Twitter, for example, like if you have any different type of
make sure you follow us on Twitter.
Definitely gotta follow us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, even. TALKIN_SH_T. Make sure you we're gonna get all of the technology. We're going to get it all properly set up so that when we're going live, you guys will know about it. We're going to have a Narstagram account. Actually, we already do have a Narstagram account. Yeah, we do.
We just haven't stitched everything together yet. We just wanted to make sure that we didn't push this off one more day. We needed to bring you guys the content. So the whole thing that happened in Kenosha really kind of gave you an idea of what public discourse is right now. So we started to formulate a loose plan to do a show together at that time. We were on the phone. I think one of the times we were on the phone like 4 hours. Yeah, and just brainstorming the shit out of it, right? Yeah. And then we're thinking, oh yeah, it should be kind of easy. We're going to use this platform. We're going to use that platform. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And I hit up somebody. Somebody hit me up on Twitter. Oh yeah, I can do your graphics thing. I gave him a very clear vision. He did not know what the fuck he was doing. Not saying he wasn't talented, but he did not know how to follow instructions whatsoever. And so he burned 3 months of our time. And within that 3 months, the assault on the insurrection at the Capitol, January 6th occurs. And I'm thinking, fuck, we need to start the show now.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get the branding done. We had already shelled out money. People that know me know I'm gonna give you quality every time. It cost me a lot of money to put all this shit together. Okay, even up until this week, I was still selling out paper so I can bring content to you guys. So a lot of the time was wasted. We hired another guy, a young guy again. Shout out to Clinks. We appreciate the effort that you've made, but he struggled following instructions as well. I love him. He struggled to follow the instructions, would cost us a lot of time, but we said, nah, we're not going to let another day go by. And in the time that has passed since he and I have come up with this concept, because especially after what happened on January 6th, because what also came with that, Donald Trump gets banned by all of social media everywhere, whether he was on the platform or not.
Yep.
And that caused a lot of issues with how people looked at things from a, how should I say, from an ethical standpoint.
Yeah.
How do you ban somebody off your platform when they were never on your platform? Because then it kind of seems like you're just trying to attack him just so that you can signal to everybody, hey, look, I attacked the bad orange man as well. Yeah. So when we were going to originally launch this platform, I wanted to launch it on the constructive criticism, not constructive criticism, constructive free speech platform, because at the time, Parler had gotten kicked off of Amazon Web Services. And you had a whole bunch of people saying a bunch of fucking racist shit on there. And they're like, well, you know, we're hands off, free speech, free speech. But I also felt like it wasn't fair that conservatives are losing their jobs, like the Gina Caranos of the world. Yeah. I didn't feel like it was fair that these people were losing their jobs simply because they didn't agree with the
they didn't bow
loud,
down. Yeah, they didn't bow down
liberal minority, because they're still a minority. It's just like they're very loud, and the people that don't agree with them, they shut the fuck up because they don't want to lose their jobs, right? So I was like, you know what? How about we start trying to unify people on the left and the right to come here and actually have conversations without fearing being called to this or called to that, and, you know, calls for cancellation and all this shit. Because I'm not going to let some of you conservatives, I'm not going to let you off the hook. Because a lot of you guys don't like cancel culture, but when I mention the words Colin Kaepernick, all of a sudden, the whole conversation changes. But you started the cancel culture with Colin Kaepernick 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to take ownership of that, of how you got cancel culture started, and then understand that if we're going to all be in this together, then we got to stop the bickering and we got to start exchanging ideas in good faith. So we're going to allow everybody to say their piece. You're going to be allowed to say what you want to say, but we're not going to allow the trolling. I'm going to roast you and I'm going to block you. All right?
Yeah.
You can come with whatever you want to say on the left or the right, but if you want to start talking about Orange Man bad and calling, you know, conservatives racist without actually trying to figure out why they're conservative.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? If you're going to come here with tropes and you're going to come here with talking points and you're not here to listen, learn, exchange ideas, you will be gone.
100%.
Right? So that was the thought that I had.
Yeah.
But over the last several months, I've realized that the political issues that we have in our society is really just a symptom of a greater issue. And I think that the crisis of masculinity, the pussification of America, so to speak, I think that that is a bigger problem, because when you have men that don't really have there's really no way that a man can have an exalted, honorable place in society these days unless he's having sex with other men or he's wearing a dress. You're not going to get any respect from the mainstream unless you're feminizing yourself. So what about the masculine men out there that don't have a problem with being masculine? Well, everything that you're hearing is about how men are evil. You know, we're all rapists or rapists in waiting. Right. We're all abusers or abusers in waiting. That's all you hear. So I realized that a lot of the problems that we're having in society with the politics is really because a lot of the men don't really have a place in society that they can go and express themselves without fear of losing everything that they've worked for.
100%.
And then that leaks into the politics. That leaks into dating. That leaks into...
It leaks out to everything, man. Everything,
yeah, it leaks into everything.
It's just one of those things that, you know... And listen, me and Evil, I think you can agree with me when I say this, Evil. It's like, we don't have anything wrong if you want to be a feminine guy or whatever. But to attack a person because they, you know, a masculine
or try to force feminize them, that's a problem.
Or just push your fucking shit into another person, bro, that's not how things should be. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a traditional masculine man and having your viewpoints or just having your way of life. There's nothing fucking wrong with it. And what we're going to have an honest conversation and just real conversations about is like, how honestly, in this world, fucked up world we have right now, we need more masculine role models because everything now is like strong woman, bash man, bash man, bash man. And you know what's funny is that a lot of women that I know as friends, and you know, especially my fiance, like they like masculine men, but like it's like the vocal minority just kind of like drowns them out. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely like baffling to me.
It's worse than that though.
Well, I'll be honest.
They're not even being drowned out. The women that love and respect men, they're just silent.
That's true.
When they're in mixed company and they hear a radical feminist barking, they shut the fuck up. They don't say anything.
Well, and I'm not making fucking excuses for it, but I'll just be honest with you, man, is that it's so hard to go against the grain. And that's what I kind of want to hopefully we can change a little bit of. It's just so hard to go against the grain when everyone's seeing every commercial you see, like that Gillette commercial, like,
oh man,
like you know, be a better man, like, you know, just like making men look like boys will be like making them look like savages. I'm like, come on, man, like you sell your razors to dudes like me, like, why are you alienating me? You know what I mean?
Well, that's a great question. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk that shit.
Let's talk that shit, baby. So, you know, I've been itching. I've been chomping at the bit to get this started, to have these kinds of conversations. Mm-hmm. When you look at the Gillette commercial from 2018, I believe it was, 2017, 2018.
I'll double check that right now.
Right. The Gillette commercial was basically talking about the best a man can get, meaning that they were not, you know, pitching their women's razors in this promotional campaign. They were not pitching the women's razors. They were pitching the men's razors. So what does that tell you? That a company had the balls, had the gallstones,
2019,
to attack their main consumer. Do you know why they had the balls to attack their main consumer? They could do that because they understand what most men do not understand.
Yeah.
Up to 85% of every dollar, we're talking about 85 cents on every dollar that's spent in the consumer market, is spent by women. Now, you would think that women make up, what, 55% at the most of the population?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How is it that they make up 6/7 of every dollar that's spent? Well, that's because women also control the spending for the men in their life. You have the single parent household, which is mostly single mothers. Mm-hmm. You have, you know, men who are out there going out there trying to get the bag. They don't have time to go to the drugstore, so their girlfriends and their wives or their mothers or whoever the females are in their lives, they're making those purchases on their behalf. So Gillette thought they was slick. You know what? We're going to attack and denigrate and demonize our main consumer. Who the fuck does that? A company that knows where we're going in society. If a corporation wants to turn a profit, are you going to worry about the 85 cents or the 15?
85.
You're going to worry about the 85.
Yep.
So if you look at a lot of the advertising that's out there, it's all geared towards women for a reason. Because those are the people who are the consumers in our societies. So in our society, men tend to be the producers and women tend to be the consumers. But for some reason, we have this belief that men are disposable and obsolete when men built the world. Yes, we're going to be talking about a lot of what's going on in the world. I'm going to be shouting out a lot of people in the manosphere, particularly the black manosphere, because these guys deserve to be recognized for a lot of the contribution that they're making to open the eyes of more and more people so that we can kind of get things to go back towards the middle. A lot of this rhetoric that we're hearing is not helping. Men are bad, men are evil, men are rapists, men are abusers, and none of reality does not reflect what the rhetoric states. So we're bringing something that's a little bit more in line with trying to support the men out there. And again, we're not here to just, rag on women, because one of the things that you will not hear in a lot of the MGTOW and the red pill spaces is that most women do not fit into the entitled, radical, feminist, angry, man-hating category. No. Most of them do not fit in with that.
No.
They just don't. So a lot of these women don't really understand. A lot of these women don't understand that they're not alone, that most women do love and respect men. And I'm hoping that this platform, as we build it, we let those women know, nah, we see you. We understand you, but we need you to speak up, because we can say it all day till we blue in the face that men deserve love, that men deserve respect. But unless a woman is saying it, it's not going to move the meter. So we want to create a community where women who love and respect men can freely share their ideas and become more emboldened to speak your mind. We want men to come here, speak their mind. And again, this is not about, just complaining about women. We are going to be talking a lot about what's going on.
Yeah, no, it's not gonna be like, oh, woman bad type stuff, because that's just
because I don't want to spend a whole lot of energy on that. No. There are going to be some things that I'm going to have to put in your face so that we all understand what it is. But I want to create a community where men have the incentive and understand what the incentive is to go out and to be the best version of themselves. 100%. Because if you're a modern man today, and you know that you have a 99% chance of being rejected, and you have a 0.5% chance of having somebody make an accusation against you simply because you approach them, and then you have a 0.5% chance of actually being recognized as a human being that's worth recognizing by the opposite sex. So it's like, if there's no real reward, but it's all risks, then why should I be the best version of myself? Why should I go out there and try to make money? Why should I go out there and use my talents to make the world better, to make my community better, to help my family? Why should I do all of that when it's easier to hop on my PS4 and then when I'm done playing, hop on Pornhub? Right?
Yeah.
I get that Uber Eats, I get that DoorDash, and I could just, make $25,000, $30,000 a year, have a paltry roof over my head. I have some entertainment. I got some adult entertainment, and somebody else that I could just pay them to cook my food, and that's it.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys just don't have they just don't have the inspiration. They don't have a reason.
I don't think enough men are encouraged. Young men.
Yeah, they're not encouraged to. But what is the reason why they would?
Because society fucking looks down on young men a lot of things. It's always like, oh, it's a man issue, a man's evil, a man's all this bullshit. And when you're young,
men's problems don't matter.
And like when you're young and you listen to that shit, you're like, well, fuck, man, where do I turn to? Where's my fucking advice? That's why, and we can have I don't know if you know much of him. Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson, yeah.
Yep. That's why he, like, a lot of
I don't agree with everything he says, but,
But I think a lot of young men turn to him because he actually is an advocate for him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we're going to be Jordan Peterson in every single worldview, but I do think that we kind of want to be that for young men, because me and you are both successful in our careers. We both are driven. We both have a certain career path. And I think that we need to help kind of coach some guys like, hey, like, this is what you should do in this situation. Don't just like kind of rest, be happy, like working like some minimum wage job. I'm not saying there's anything, wrong with starting from the bottom, but man, you got to strive to keep going to the top, man. Don't be just happy with that like medium placement, man. Like I want to be a captain of a fucking boat one day, man. I don't want to stay where I'm at, bro. I keep elevating, man. And that's the main thing. Like I want to be sure that we're this place where people like, or as a young man, like, hey man, like they're talking about real shit, real stuff that actually affects us, and kind of giving us kind of a guidance of like how we should maneuver in life to be successful. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And that's what I think this world's missing, man. I think you need a couple of guys giving an honest perspective, and I would love to have a community full of women that are pro men as well, coming in here, showing support, showing these young men that there is indeed women that really want some men in their life that provide for them and love for them. You know, there's nothing wrong with being masculine. It doesn't mean that you hate your fucking wife. I'm engaged. I'm getting married soon. She loves this part of myself. And, you know, Evil has women in his life that love that side of himself as well. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being completely secure in your masculinity. And don't let anyone ever tell you anything different.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, actually, you can let them tell you different, but you can tell them to go fuck themselves. that's where we're at with it, man. I mean, you know, one of my favorite content creators in the manosphere, and we're going to be breaking down a lot of his content as well on the show, Kevin Samuels. As a matter of fact, I want to tell you guys a little bit of a story, right? There was a young lady that I was at least we were never physically involved, but we were moving in that direction, we'll say, right? And I hit her up a couple days ago, and I let her know that, you know, the kind of platform that we were creating and where we're going with it. And the very first fucking thing she said was, don't be like Kevin Samuels. And I'm like, oh, really? Really? No, we're going in. We are going in. So over here, you can say that Kevin Samuels is the godfather of the Talking Shit podcast. We're coming out. We're saying it right now. If you have a problem with grown men coming out and telling you exactly what it is and not just telling you what you want to hear, we're not for you. Actually, we are for you, because you need to get up off that delusional thinking and start getting with the program, start getting with reality, so you got better outcomes. But if you're not willing to hear the real, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to talk to you the way that you want me to talk to you. I'm just going to tell you what it is. And you can be mad about it, or you can change it. And this goes for both men and women. Because a lot of times what I've been seeing in the manosphere is a bunch of guys who have not done a motherfucking thing to earn the recognition of a woman on the street or anywhere else. They're over here talking about how bad women are and blah, blah, blah. No, do the goddamn work. And after you have achieved something and you've made something of yourself that's worthy of recognition, then you can go out there and say, yo, I need something better than what you're offering. But that's why we're here. So one of the things that we want to bring to you guys is we're going to have fitness professionals. We're going to have sex coaches on as guests, life coaches. We're going to have financial experts. We're going to have people who are experts in the tech field, because we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of different stuff. A lot of fun stuff. You guys are going to be, I swear to God, you're going to be entertained. But we're going to be bringing to you a lot of resources to help you level up your mind, give you more encouragement, so that that work ethic goes to an all-time high, so that while you're out there doing what it is that you were meant to do, accomplishing what you were meant to accomplish, you're going to like turn around and you're going to have to beat these bitches off with a stick. And you don't have to worry about, oh, why don't women respect me? Oh, why don't, you know, oh, look at these gold diggers and look at this. You won't even have to do that, because you'll be in a position where you'll have the leverage, where they're going to be seeking you out. And if they don't want to compete for your attention, bye-bye. But you got to do the work first. So that's what we're starting here. Day one, Cinco de Mayo. All right? Right? We're starting. Yo, I'm telling you, what we're bringing on this platform, and again, this is episode 0, so welcome. And yes, I stole a quip that I got from Kevin Samuels. We are building the plane as we fly it. There's going to be a lot of branding stuff that is still going into place. We're going to have the Narsagram going, the Patreon, the Twitter, the YouTube,
Facebook. Like there's a lot of.
I hate
social
Facebook,
media.
but we got to get up on there.
Well, I already made the page. It's already there. So like we have a lot of different platforms that we'll be on, and like we're gonna. This is episode 0. This is kind of the pilot. We're gonna go from here. We already kind of expanded upon it in the beginning. There's a lot of fucking hiccups in the beginning. Getting new artists after kind of getting. I'm just gonna put it honestly, kind of fucked.
Yeah.
I think that it's gonna be a great space to just actually have real conversations and. Hey man, like I think it's not just going to be always serious. It's going to be funny topics as well. Like when some wild shit happens on social media, like that dude, the dude with the iced tea when he hit that dude, like the that
white man, that was epic.
just grab it.
That was epic. Oh my god,
across the head, bro. Like
yeah. It's
not going to be all like super serious. There's going to be some levity to it as well. So I do want to put that out there. I don't want people getting the wrong impression because we've been talking about some really serious topics, but man, we're going to have some funny shit in there as well. That's just our personality.
Yeah. We're thinking about pulling out alter egos, me being Dr. D's nuts and you.
Papa T.
Papa Thunder, son. So I've got a lot of cool people in my network that I believe can bring you some really good information on leveling yourself up. First, before I go into my day job, let's go into Captain Paul's day job. What do you do for a living? Because you already mentioned, you're on a career path. You're being successful because of your work ethic, right?
Correct.
So give the viewer an idea of what you do professionally.
Okay.
Besides talking shit.
Talking shit. Well, besides talking shit, which I do on a daily basis, is I work on tugboats. I actually work in the maritime industry, so it's not just necessarily tugboat only. There's a lot of different ships and different workboats I can work on. Currently, I work as an AB. I have
what is an AB?
An AB is an able seaman.
Aryan Brotherhood?
Aryan Brotherhood? What the fuck, bro? Yo, nah, bro. Yo, fucking done. No, you fuck.
Yo, we getting you canceled during the pilot, son.
Yo, I hate my life. But fucking able-bodied seaman. It's kind of like I have my mate's license and stuff like that.
So you're a sperm that works.
Essentially, yeah. Fucking Jesus Christ. So like an able seaman is kind of like it's go OS, AB, mates, and then captain, right? OS is ordinary seaman, somebody without licensing. I went to school for like 4 years, got my licensing, everything in order. How it works in my industry is you start at the bottom and then you work your way to the top. I actually switched companies. I went from a company that, I'll just fully transparent, wasn't the greatest paying, and then I went to a top end company because of my experience and making a boatload of fucking money out of New York City. And it's one of those situations where I'm hoping in like 3 to 5 years I can get a mate spot. Just kind of depends how things pan out, how many captains retire, and how many guys get bumped up. But my industry is like I work on the water. I tow barges. I work on the ATBs where you've probably seen them if you've lived near the coastline or in like Boston or New York, anything water-based. It's like those big barges where you see a kind of a long neck tug that like we essentially push gas, oil, ethanol. We actually there's actually I forget what the name. Oh, there's actually like a maple syrup barge from one company. It's actually very interesting.
Probably it has to come from Canada.
It does actually come from Canada, and it's my field is based around the water. Shout out to Canada, even though it's a bitch. I'll say this: I went into Canada once on a boat, bro, and I swear to God, they fucking they think you. Oh, did I freeze?
In Canada.
No. I didn't. Oh, I thought my camera froze. You got me all fucked up. No, what happened is with in Canada is that like the customs is super strict. man. And like, if you do not have your passport, which generally, like, I always carry it, but some guys don't because you never leave the United States. And bro, they look at you like a fucking criminal. It's like, where's your passport? Fucking, if you leave shore, you're going to fucking jail immediately. It's like it's insane.
Wow.
They take it super seriously up there, which they have to.
So you have to travel around with your passport all the time?
Yeah, dude. I have like credential. I could show you. I have like a red passport, which is my MMD, and then my blue, obviously, like a regular passport. Like, there's 2 credentials I always have to carry. Actually, another one, I have to carry a TWIC card, a transportation workers identification card on me at all times when I'm on a boat as well. Because they take it ever since 9/11 happened, like, everything changed. Like, it's completely super, like, you have to have all your documents in order. And if it's expired, you're kind of fucked. But sorry for the diatribe, but long story short, I work on the water, work as a AB currently, and working my way up the ladder. And, you know, man, it's something I've been wanting to do since I was like probably 8-10 years old, because my father was a captain for years. So that's kind of like my career. That's actually what inspired me to go on my career path. And to me, there's nothing better working on the water. But yeah, man, like, it took a lot of education, a lot of schooling, a lot of training. I probably spent around easily $150,000 worth of money for like all the training I've done with schooling and just non-schooling related training. And every fucking dollar spent, I paid off, and it's been worth it, man. And that's why, you know, not saying I'm fucking a godsend, but like, I think someone like me can really help relate with young man. Like, hey man, like, it might be difficult at first, man, but it is so worth putting in the hard work and fucking the hours and hours of studying and fucking busting your ass, because at the fucking end of the rainbow, man, there's going to be success. If you're willing to work at anything in life, man, you're going to succeed. You know what I mean? If you're willing to put in that fucking hour, that time, that effort, you're going to succeed. But,
well, remember, it wasn't always easy for you. You want to talk a little bit about what you've gone through in your life to get to this point, because, you know, you have a very unique perspective as you have a very unique perspective. You want to talk to the people about that?
So for me with school, just to break down everything, just kind of give it a,
yeah, because there is something a little bit special, so that, you know, when people come for you about being insensitive, because people are gonna come for us.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, you've had a very unique experience as a young man, trying to survive. You could talk to them about that.
Okay, so like, I went to school for about a year, and I didn't feel right. So like, I was just feeling off, and I just was really lethargic, really tired. And I got diagnosed with cancer. And they actually had to do some operations to kind of get rid of some cancerous tumors. And it's kind of one of those things that it kind of put my whole life on pause. You know what I mean? Like, everything kind of had to stop. I had to get clear, had to get good. And it fucks with you mentally. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, like, fuck, like, this is serious. Like, I really need to be like taking care of myself. Like, I'm like,
never got down on yourself.
No, like, bro, like, you get depressed, you get all that. And it's one of those things. I've always been kind of a guy that, like, fighter, get angry, get pissed off. That's just personality trait of mine that I'm not going to fucking give up. Like, there was bouts of depression. There was doubts of honestly, like, if I was going to make it, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I had some fucked up diagnosis by the doctor up in Maine. And like, actually the main reason I was tired, but I was actually starting to piss blood. That's actually one of the indicators. And so what kind of happened, it didn't feel right, didn't feel good. And I go down there, I get diagnosed, and he said some fucked up shit. Like, you had like a 60, maybe a 50% chance of making it, all this shit. Like, he said some, like, and he left it on like a voicemail. Like, it was really fucked up, because I got back from the doctors, and like, he didn't even call me, didn't ask me to come in. That shit admittedly always sticks with me. That's why with certain things, I just like, yo, like, you need to be in person, and like, not just like, oh yeah, by the way, fucking, yeah. It's like, no, but I go down to Boston, find out they can, like, because with my pancreas, because that's what I had. We caught it very early, and I was lucky. They ended up
pancreatic cancer, or
yes.
the tumor was in the pancreas.
Tumor was in the pancreas. So like,
but it was a different kind of cancer.
No, it was pancreatic. It was a pancreatic.
Yo, most people die from pancreatic cancer.
Yes. So like, I'm actually, with the amount of pancreas I have left, if they took out any little bit more, I'd actually be diabetic, because it regulates your insulin levels and all that.
Right. Right.
And it's actually why, like, you know, like with all the water and stuff like that, I actually have to be very careful what I put in my body. Now, admittedly, at times I do fucking slip, but then when I slip, I feel like shit afterwards.
Right.
But it kind of gave me like a perspective.
So you have enough pancreas to enjoy pancakes.
Yeah, but I'm not to be graphic. It's not going to be pretty afterwards. It's going to be kind of like, you know, I'm going to feel pretty shitty, like physically and literally. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things, man, that it how do I put this? It puts things in perspective, right? Where I think when I was younger, I was very fucking, you remember with the early YouTube stuff. It actually is one of the reasons why I stopped making YouTube videos altogether, because just a ton of shit was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it just makes you put things into perspective, where I'm like, certain things that used to fucking make me so angry and pissed off, not saying I won't feel slighted in a way, but it brings it down. It's like, okay, like, you know, this ain't that serious. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's annoying, not that serious. And, you know, after I'd probably say about a year or something, kind of being a little bit down on myself, bro, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this, bro. Like, I'm gonna get back on my grind, and I'm gonna get back on my feet. I'm gonna go fucking right after it. And, you know, through all this shit, because with the school, and that was the wild part, the school thought I was faking this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And
you want me to whip my dick out and piss some red on you? Like, is that what you need? Is that what you need?
And it was wild. I can't say certain shit for obvious reasons, but it's one of those things.
What obvious reasons?
Because I'm gonna, you know, I'll be pursuing something against them, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
So like, there's certain things that they fucked up on that I can't talk about, but they fucked up really bad and broke some laws, and and the story didn't work out for them, because everything I said turned out by the doctor to be true.
Right.
And then they try to. I'll just say
we get it. Does not fuck it up.
I don't want to fuck up anything, but my thing is, bro, is like what comes down to this, man, is like, I've been through some shit. I even had like the old school against me, and I still pushed through. I was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna do this my way. I'm gonna fucking bust my ass, get all my credentials. And it took me about 2 to 3 years with appeals with the Coast Guard, and I won. And I won everything. I got every fucking thing from that place. And dude, I've never. It's like a different type of drive it gave me, because it's like, you know what? I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? Right. And and like, when you go through shit like that, bro, it puts life in perspective. Like, yeah, man, you know what? This sucks, but I've been through worse, and I'm gonna push through this. You know what I mean? And not to make this all about a fucking Captain Paul sob story, but you know.
No, but you know, people need to know who the fuck you are and why they should listen to you, because a lot of people will hear what you have to say. They'll recognize it as necessary, that it needed to be said, right? And then they'll say, well, they'll look for every reason not to listen to you, no matter how valid what you're saying is. So then they'll say, oh, well, who are you to say blah, blah, blah? Well, here are my list of life credentials. This is the shit that I've been through. This is what I've accomplished. These are things that I fought through. These are the times where I failed. These are the times where I succeeded. This is me still sitting here, having not given up.
Right.
Right? So when people hear, you know, my story, when they hear your story, they'll have a reason to have faith that things will get better as long as they put the work in.
100%.
So part of, you know, the work that you and I are doing to be better is doing this fucking show.
100%. Could definitely agree.
How many people do you think have talked about doing a joint venture, any business, podcast, film, and music? How many people have said, yo, I mean, I'll take it even a step further. How many people have you heard say, yo, Let's get up and go to the club next weekend, and they don't do it.
Dude, like 9 out of 10 times.
Right?
Yeah.
So this was an exercise in having a vision and seeing it through, because this is difficult. It was difficult because I already co-host another show. It's difficult because of my profession, which I will be telling you guys about, so you guys have an idea of who the fuck Dr. Evil is, right?
100%.
You know, I've got the other things that I do. I've got my family life. I've got my introverted nature where I got to be away from people and, you know,
need your space.
Not talk. Yeah, I need my space, right? So I've got what's going on with me, but having this vision and then seeing it through to fruition, that is another manifestation of this is what I'm here to accomplish. And I'm going to go out there and do it. And no matter how long it takes for me to see the fruit of my labor, I'm going to keep pushing that work.
100%, bro. And that's what you got to fucking do. You got to have that fucking nose to the grindstone, just willing to fucking grind. And like, I think one of the best things and like about this whole process, you know, this 5 months might have sucked, dude, Evil. Let's just, it did suck at times because there was a lot of things we wanted to fucking touch upon, man. But it kind of proved in a lot of ways, like even to myself, because I know me personally after everything, it's like, it was difficult for me to make content, and this, some creators might understand this because you think the shit might just suck, right? Like even if you make a really good video, you just think it sucks because you haven't done it so long. And it's been a litmus test to be like, all right, man, like how serious do you want to do this? And it's like, you know what, man, like, yeah, we might have had some hiccups. Yeah, we want to do the show fucking like 5 months ago, man, but we stuck with it, and we're going to be bringing you a ton of fucking content.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of the encouraging part for me, man. Like it's funny doing this right now, man. It made me realize how much I miss doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just fun. Like, it's just like we can actually have a really good conversation, just talk, and kind of like going into you, because I think, you know, I have my own perspective, but with you, I kind of want you to talk about yourself, like how you grew up, how you're like, you know, how your worldview became into shape. Because we've had some really good conversations about that, where like you've had a certain viewpoint, and that just growing up and even things in the last few years has changed it. Like, first off, like, what do you do for work? And, you know, let's go into that. Like, what do you do for work? And then after, like what kind of shaped your worldview?
All right. So shaping the worldview, I would say we'd have to go a lot earlier into my life. So I guess I'll start. I'll give you kind of like the cliff notes of the rise of Dr. Evil. I started out life in the early 80s being severely abused by everybody that was supposed to take care of me. You name it. Somebody was involved in some sort of physical or emotional or psychological abuse. I'm talking about right out of the womb. So before I was even 6 months old, my grandfather was trying to kill me. So
that's fucking wild.
You know, so me spending the 2 of my first 4 years of life in foster care because of the extreme abuse that I was suffering, and then being released back to my mother, and then the different abuses continued in different ways by different people. You know, I grew up not very socially apt, very socially inept. You know, the crack epidemic had a lot to do with what I suffered through. The weird obsession with religion and religious organizations, that had a lot to do with it. So that was kind of shaping my worldview. And, you know, suffering through that abuse really just kind of warped my mind. Me being a high achiever in school made me, how do I say this? Being a high achiever in school in the hood made me insensitive to the struggles of black people all the way up until when Trayvon Martin was murdered. Because when Trayvon Martin was murdered, I thought that we were living in a post-racist society. Like, I didn't think that racism really exists anymore. How much of a fucking idiot did I look like in my late teens, early 20s, thinking that shit was sweet? But then when I looked at a lot of the reaction to Trayvon Martin's murder, that kind of opened my eyes a little bit, and that kind of changed my worldview. So then I became a little bit more sensitive to the plight of black people in modern society. I come from a sales background. You know, my first real work, you know, came in sales. I was really good at it. I've done hard manual labor under really bad conditions. That strengthened me a little bit. I've done IT work. I have an extensive technology background. A big lover of consumer technology. We will be talking about that on this channel a lot. So, Captain Paul, do your motherfucking research. All right? Because you're now a tech guy.
It's all fun.
But what I do for a living these days is that I'm in the health and wellness field with a specialty in personal training, strength and conditioning, that kind of stuff. So, you know, I have a professional corporate background, but I also have a more holistic approach to professionalism and health and wellness. You put all that stuff together, and that has given me a unique perspective on helping people become the best version of themselves from a physical standpoint, from a psychological standpoint, from an emotional standpoint. Because one of the things that you're going to get different from this area of the manosphere is that we're going to recognize the emotional struggles that men have today and how to deal with them without doing the stiff upper lip thing, without feeling like you have to be stoic inside and out. Yes, stoicism, you're going to have to show that on the outside, and we're going to be explaining in depth why. You know, you're going to have to hold some of your cards close to the vest, but a lot of what we're going to be talking about is being healthy emotionally, being healthy psychologically, being healthy mentally, so that your emotions don't eat you up and then cause you to be violent to yourself or other people. So this is what we're talking about, being the best versions of ourselves. You're going to get a lot of perspective from my side. You're going to get a lot of perspective from Captain Paul. Like I said, Captain Paul has been through a lot of shit. I was surviving attempts on my life since before I was 6 months old. So, you know, I grew up in the worst neighborhoods in New York City during the crack epidemic of the 80s, the explosion of the East Coast red and blue gangs in the 90s. I came up in the worst neighborhoods in Queens, Brooklyn, Harlem, the Bronx, most of the time in the Bronx. I was never the biggest, never the strongest, never the toughest. So I have a pretty unique perspective on survival. And now I have a different perspective on how to thrive, not just survive. And that's one of the things that I think that you're going to get a lot of value from fucking with the Talking Shit podcast. We're going to have a lot of shit. We're going to be talking MMA. We're going to be talking team sports. We're going to be talking ethics. We're going to be talking business, professionalism, technology,
like everything, bro.
Everything. We're going to have a lot of social commentary. So buckle up. And again, we're not shying away from the political stuff.
No.
We're still going to have that platform of constructive free speech, where if you're a conservative, you'll be able to talk to a person like me who leans slightly left, and we'll be able to have that conversation. For all of you people on the left that are not quite sure about people on the right, you got Captain Paul right there.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be calling you libtards. We're not going to be calling you
Just
Republicans.
stupid insult. Yeah.
We're not here for none of that.
No.
We're about opening up the discourse. We're gonna have a lot of you on. We're gonna have call-in shows. We're gonna have watch parties, like UFC watch parties. It's gonna. I hate to use the jargon, the lingo, but when people say it's gonna be lit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a really exciting place to be, a really exciting community to build. I'm gonna be looking to network with other people who think a lot like we do, and it doesn't matter what their race is. If they are supporting men becoming better versions of themselves and getting the recognition from society for becoming the best versions of themselves. You know, I'm going to be looking to do crossovers with a lot of respected men that are in the manosphere. And I'm not talking about the complainers. We're not talking about the MG toe guys, although I do understand where some of you guys are coming from, men going their own way. I understand you, but over this way, we ain't fucking with the incel life. I'm sorry.
No.
We're not fucking with that.
No.
But we hear you and we value you as human beings.
Yeah.
And that's the point of this fucking platform.
And
we're not here to denigrate we're not here to denigrate people. We're not going to beef with people. You could talk shit about us. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's all good. But we're going to talk our shit.
That's right, man. And I know what I'll just even say, I'll kind of put like an olive branch out there, man. Maybe like a young incel, like 16, 18, whatever, man, because they just.
No, we're here to talk to those guys.
Yeah, we're you know what, man? Like, listen, just come with an open mind. Like, me and Evil have a lot of good relationships with women, man. Like, if you carry yourself.
How long you been with your girl?
3 years. 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah. So like,
I've been with my first partner 15 years. My second partner 8.5 years. So I've got a lot of relationship experience.
And trust me, man.
And I'm still on the dating market, so I know what you guys are going through because I'm out there coming across the same type of women that you are.
And that's actually an interesting dynamic I'll just touch upon. Like, I'm monogamous. I'm into just one girl. Right? You know what I mean? My boy Evil sprinkles himself all the way out there, man. Sprinkles a little bit everywhere, man. He wants all races, all kinds, man. And it's salute to you. I'm more of a monogamous type of guy. So, but like that's gonna be another interesting because there's gonna be conversations and stuff we'll see that me and him will kind of differ, but like it'll be actually a good two different perspectives worldview wise to have on relationships because I'll say this, I've been through the ringer with some bad women, but man, like trust me, if you maneuver and you kind of carry yourself in a certain way and we kind of we'll put that out into the world for you, trust me.
Yeah, in a future episode Captain Paul is going to tell you about not how he was talking shit but how he was taking a shit. We're going to save that one. We're going to save that story for a future episode.
Yo, I hate you. I fucking hate
you. Yo, I'm telling you, we got mad. I'm telling you, the stories that we have to tell
oh my God.
about our lives, I'm telling you, we're going to be one of the biggest podcasts out there. You heard it from episode 0. Make sure that you're hitting the follow button. If you're up in here, I'm telling you, you want to make sure you're getting notifications. You're going to want to make sure that you're following us every episode. We're going to be doing a lot of standalone videos on specific topics. That'll be up on the YouTube channel. Whenever YouTube allows us to put shit up on the YouTube channel, we're going to be talking about anything that's going on in society that we give a shit about. Best believe it. We will have content on it. You will get our perspective on it. I swear to you, this is a place that you're going to want to be. So 100%. Definitely hit that follow button if you haven't already. We're going to be running this show mainly on YouTube. But we may still simulcast it on Twitch. But definitely follow us. I'm at Dr. Dr_Evil_Genius. He is
Captain Paul
at Captain Paul 91.
Yep.
No underscores.
No underscores.
On
Just
Twitter.
one word. Yep.
Right. We are talking shit. TALKIN_SH_T. On Narstagram. We're on Twitter.
No, I'm still, I love it. Say that every time.
Yeah, we're on Twitter there. Obviously, we're there on Twitch and also on YouTube. The YouTube is also the same, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely the same. I can double check that, but it's pretty much everything. Yeah. And just so I would kind of give a backstory on why it's an underscore for the I.
Well, they know why.
Yeah, you know, some people might not. It's just so we don't run into any issues when it comes to our channel.
Censorship.
Yeah.
Because we're pretty much anti-censorship anyway.
No, 100%.
So, you know, again, this is not the way that the show is going to look going forward. We're still putting together a lot of the branding and making sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. But we wanted to put this out here today so that you guys know that we're coming. Not that the Talk of Shit podcast is coming, but we are here. We are here. And we're not going nowhere.
Nope.
I swear to you, we're going nowhere. You're going to see us again. You're going to see us doing the Periscope thing. You know, we'll run it live on Twitter. We'll run it live on Facebook. We'll run it live on YouTube. We'll run it live anywhere where our voices can be heard. You're going to be hearing from us on a regular basis. If you guys have ideas for content, hit us up. Let me make sure I get the email address right.
It's like
Talking Shit Podcast LLC. So let me I want to put a banner up there. Yeah, I'm going to create a banner so you guys can see what we're bringing.
Bring it to the table here. Yeah, man, like we're going to have a lot of different topics, and we're going to have like on various different platforms, and we're going to try to interact especially as much as we can. And this is just the start. This is episode 0. This is the pilot. And hey, we wanted to make everything look perfect right now. Like my mic right now and all this other equipment, the camera's fine, but I'm going to be upgrading everything here probably by episode 1 or episode 2 at the latest. So we're going to have a lot of new stuff. We're going to have a lot of fun with this shit. And you know what, man, the future is bright. This ain't just a one-off thing. I'm committed to this. Evil's committed to this.
Tell them how much we committed to this. Tell them how much we committed.
Fuck, bro. It's gotta be $2,000, right? It has to be, at least, if not more than
this
that.
week. $2,000. We spent $2,000 on this venture this week.
Yeah.
Alone.
You can call us you can call us stupid. I have to watch myself. I don't want to get
we're it's go big or go home.
Yeah. No, you know, we're invested into this, and we're going to put our money where our mouth is, and we're going to put our performance where our mouth is. And, you know, we're going to be bringing you a lot of freaking content, even outside of podcasts. Like, I know individually, me and Evil for the channel will have a lot of stuff, recorded stuff, especially maybe like one-offs or series. Like, we've had a lot of different discussions.
Yeah.
Either both of us together or just individually for the channel. So we're going to have a ton of content for you guys.
Because when he's out on the boat and he's got no signal, I got to run the ship. I got to run this shit.
Run that shit.
So, you know, I just want, you know, you guys to know that, you know, this isn't just us saying, hey, subscribe, hey, follow, and then we disappear. We're trying to build a community here because our approach to media needs to be the approach everywhere. But right now, media is one-sided. It's all about, you know, strong, independent women that don't need no man. And that's not helping them.
Yeah.
As much as women have succeeded in the professional realm, they're not happy.
No, they're not.
Shitting on men is not making them happier. So that's not working. We need to find what works. What works is unity. Unfortunately, how are we going to get to unity? We need to start speaking up on behalf of men. And, you know, me and Paul, yo, what up, Xenon? 321. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you again.
Appreciate you stopping by.
You know, he's he's really loyal. Xenon is a really loyal viewer. You know, he comes from the Louis Rossman camp. We're going to be talking a lot to Louis Rossman. For those that don't know, Louis Rossman is the preeminent voice in the Right to Repair movement. You can follow him on Twitter at Fight to Repair and learn all about the Right to Repair movement, because, you know, whether you buy Apple products or you buy Samsung or you buy a tractor or you buy an automobile, there are forces in the market that is basically trying to take away your rights to what you own.
Mm-hmm.
And Louis Rossman's not having any of that. So we're going to be having him on future episodes. He's very opinionated when it comes to politics, so you'll definitely get a good perspective from him. We're going to have a lot of really cool guests. We're going to be trying to do crossovers with other podcasters, other content creators. But for right now, you know, we need you to spread the word. Because if you spread the word and you make it look like we're legitimate, then the larger content creators that we can do collaborations with will look at us, see us as legit, and then we network, and then we grow the message that men are not disposable. Men are not optional. Men are not a luxury that you just have, you know, just to play around with. That we are integral to society. That without men, the world is not as developed as it is from a technology standpoint. It just isn't. So men who are out there trying to be the best version of themselves, that are out there being productive, contributing to society, those men need to get their due. And we're adding to that voice. And I hope that you guys will be along for the ride, because we've got some pretty fun perspectives. Like I said, I'm a non-monogamous. He's a monogamous. I'm a light-skinned black guy. He's a fucking ginger.
I'm light-skinned too. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but yeah, no, like I'm a ginger, Scottish. You know, very different worldview. You know,
yep.
I'm into potatoes. He's not. So like, fucking.
Who said I'm not into potatoes?
Not like me, bro. Fuck no. Like you don't. You know.
Wait, what do you? So. All right. How much do you love potatoes?
Bro, it's in my blood. You need to question that shit? Because, like, let's be straight. Like, you know, my people, like...
Xenon said potatoes are awesome.
Say, potatoes are awesome. Like, baked potato, French fries, like, potatoes, like, God-tier food to me. Like, why?
I'm a sweet potato guy. Pause.
Sweet. Actually, I like sweet potatoes. Actually, they ain't bad, but, like, you know, that's kind of like some weak potato shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You gotta get them
shit.
gains, son. You gotta get them gains.
Yeah, bro. Fucking gotta get these gains, bro.
Nothing like homemade mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
There's somebody that I'm hoping that is watching the show right now who made me some mashed potatoes that I ate a couple of days ago. That was fucking good. Shout out to the ladies of the house. You know, I enjoyed them gains. That's gains food for us ectomorphs out there. So yeah, again, we're really this is so exciting for me. You know, I love doing Black Power Magic Hour. That's on the act.tv platform, so you can catch me over there on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. With Messiah Rhodes. My co-host there will be a guest here. It's going to be really interesting.
That is going to be very interesting.
That's going to be very interesting. Because he's very, 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 very left of center.
Bro, I'm so looking forward to that, bro. I just can't wait. A part of me just wants to like say some outlandish shit. I won't, but just say some outlandish shit to see how he'd react.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, but again, you know, he's not a snowflake. You know, when I met him, we became friends when we met at a homeless shelter we were living in. So, you know, I've been through, like I said, I've got a very unique perspective. I failed a lot at life. My parents failed me. You know, both of my parents failed me. My father, you know, he stepped up later in life to support me. And he, you know, my father did his job, you know, to support me in my adult years. But, you know, for the most part, you know, my father, you know, he failed me, you know, as a child. In fact, I do know that he will be, hold on a second. He will be a friend of the show as well. I forgot to send him the link, so I was just like, oh shit. Episode 0 is supposed to send him a link. But you know, my dad definitely supported me later on in life, but when I was a child, he was absent. You know, so like I said, I have a very unique perspective on the world, and it's still evolving. And you guys are gonna get a lot of insight from that, and we're gonna get a lot of insight from you. The things that you guys are going through in life, yep, you're gonna get a lot of support here. And again, and we'll go right back to the beginning of the show. All you ladies out there who feel like if you speak up on behalf of what you believe, that you're going to be, you know, tarnished, that your reputation is going to be tarnished as, you know, being a traitor to the sisterhood, and, you know, you're not a good feminist or whatever it is, you know, that you know, you're afraid of. This is definitely going to be a community where you're going to find more people out there that appreciate you, that appreciate your perspectives, that appreciate your support of the average man. Because the average man is not an abuser. The average man is not a rapist. The average man is not a loser. The average man makes the world go round and keeps life, how should I say it? It keeps life convenient for the rest of us. So, you know, that's, you know, we want to make sure that everybody is getting the respect that they deserve, male and female.
100%, yeah, man.
And you know, we're just going to end up on the male side simply because there aren't enough pro male voices out there. So we're going to be debunking a lot of the bullshit that's out there, and we're going to add to the chorus. And if you guys want to create your own shows based upon the insights that you get here, we're going to support you too.
100, yeah, definitely, man.
Oh, you know, I've heard some people say, oh, so-and-so stole my talking points. Steal our motherfucking talking points. Verify that what we say is true.
That's true.
And then after you know that what we said is true, you go out there and you talk to the people you want to talk to. And we'll be here to back you up.
Yeah, don't be saying some joke I said, saying that shit's facts. Some fucked up joke. But, oh, yeah, fucking Kevin Paul said this shit. No. Now,
you know, send
fact check that shit.
Yeah, you know? Send you know, the articles, send the videos that you want us to respond to. Send them right here, talkingshitpodcastllc@gmail.com. Or, you know, send us something on any one of these platforms. Obviously, we've got Narstagram, we've got Twitter. You can, you know, anything that you think is interesting. Also, I forgot Discord, right? The Discord is
oh shit, yeah.
The Discord is the same too, right?
Yeah, same. I'll even double check that right now. It's like literally the same exact thing. No, it's actually the whole name spelled out correctly. So we gotta share that. Yeah, it is. It's Discord though.
Oh, I gotta.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Remember, we made that decision because it kind of would fit, but yeah, we'll have the Discord. We gotta like
we're gonna have the Discord up you know in the future. In the future. Oh shit, we can see all of the comments. We can see all of the comments. Yeah, baby.
Oh, there you go.
Nothing like homemade mashed potatoes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, so I'm learning the streaming software, all right? So we're definitely gonna, you know, get you guys recognized in the chat. All right. You know, like I said, we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're thinking that parts of the Discord server are going to be parts of the Discord server are likely to be
they're gonna be
behind the Patreon.
Yeah,
because we again, when we tell you that we're committed to this, I put out literal thousands of dollars on this project. I put out a lot of money. So if you guys deemed our content worthy as we go through episode 1, 2, 3, 4, all of the commentary videos, all of those things that we're bringing, definitely don't hesitate to support the Patreon. When we release that, the Patreon's already been created. But since we don't have any content for you to subscribe to, we're not going to ask for your money right now. No. But, you know, I've put out thousands of dollars and then basically doing this shit on a wing and a prayer, because I think that what we're going to be bringing to you is going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it to you. So we're going to be putting a Discord link out there for you people to join for the Talking Shit podcast. Eventually, you know, parts of it is going to be behind the Patreon wall, obviously, because, you know, we got to do what we got to do, because these mics cost money. These are like, you know, anybody that knows anything about equipment,
yeah,
you know, you know, so, but again, we're not, you know, it is not, you know, the only thing that we require is that you hit the follow button on Twitch and the subscribe button on YouTube.
It'd be much appreciated. Like, honestly,
yeah, because that's the only requirement. We're paying to bring you content. You feel me? So, shit. What else is there? I mean, you know, I think that technically things went okay.
Yeah.
I mean, things don't look the way we want it to look. Clinks, step up the game. Step up the game, Clinks.
Hey. At least he's finished shit. I'll say compared to
he's finished some of the stuff, but you know, you know.
I know, man. But like, listen, this is a pilot episode, and that's the one thing I want everyone to recognize is that episode 0 compared to episode 100 is going to be leaps and bounds amazing. Like even from episode 0 to episode 5, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah,
like we're gonna like always improve, always bring the best topics we possibly can, and you know what, I would honestly super appreciate it if you subscribe, follow, and kind of spread the word, because we're in here for the long haul. I'm not gonna just stop something after spending the amount we have.
right, yeah. Actually, the about box has some of the links to
I linked that
there are links to some of the other. The Patreon is there. Yeah, so if you look below on Twitch, you'll see that the YouTube is there. So definitely go subscribe, because we're going to be uploading this over on YouTube. The Patreon is there. The Twitter is there. The Narcigram is there. And the Facebook page is there. So we would really appreciate your support. Following is free. On Twitch is free, and subscribing on YouTube is free. So definitely show us some love for the algorithms and stuff, because we really want to grow this platform. Sure. Anything else you wanna bring to the masses tonight?
Nah, man. I think
all 6 of them.
All 6 of them. I think that was a pretty good first little episode, and I'm definitely looking forward. I'm really excited with this project, man. We're gonna have a lot of fun, a lot of good conversations on this.
We're gonna try to get on a reliable schedule. Mm-hmm. Right now, we're not really, you know, because he's got his professional stuff. I also co-host another show that take up 2 days of the week, and we have a lot of aspirations on how much content we want to bring to you guys. Like I said, UFC Fight Night and UFC pay-per-view watch-along parties. I really want to bring that to you on Saturday, on Saturdays, evenings, that kind of thing. We're going to be talking about gaming, consumer technology, economics, personal economics, dating. We're going to be talking about dating.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about dating.
Some funny ass stories.
A lot of stories, a lot of ways that you can be successful in the dating world, and also how to go from being a survivor to a thriver, because that's really what we want to bring to you. How to go from being a survivor to a thriver. We got Xenon here. He's interested. So, you know, especially for the people who have not been in relationships before, you know, definitely stick around. We are gonna have we're gonna have a lot to bring to you on a bunch of different topics. We're gonna be uploading a lot of videos on YouTube, uploading a lot of videos. So
yeah, it's not going to be just solely podcasts. It's going to be a lot of different content that's going to be put up there. And then with the Patreon, not telling right now, but we're going to be making some special stuff for the Patreon that I'm not going to ruin. So,
well, I will say, I can tell you this. A lot of the non-PC stuff that we can't say on the YouTubes
will be on the Patreon.
And the Twitches of the world will be uploaded to the Patreon. So, you know, if you want to hear us talk some real shit.
Some real shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan.
You want to hear us talk, you know, occasionally that nasty shit?
Yeah, we ain't trying to get taken down the first month.
Yeah. That's going to go up on the Patreon. All right?
Yeah.
As we continue Simplistic says, I want to hear some real shit.
Yeah,
let me bless my guy Simplistic Show. You know, I've known Simplistics over a decade now. He is a friend of the show. So you know, I know that I modded you before you followed, but make sure you hit that follow button, son. But yeah, I'm telling you, my leg is fucking shaking. I am so excited to finally bring this channel to you. Tentatively speaking, I'm thinking of a Friday evening stream.
Mm-hmm.
Where we start going into, because we went pretty much in depth into our opinions of the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting, which helped give birth to the Talking Shit podcast in a way, right?
Yeah, it did.
But we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff in the manosphere. But, you know, if any of you guys who are already successful in the manosphere, the mediocre tutorials and reviews, the Kevin Samuels, the O'Shea Duke Jacksons, the alpha male strategies, if you hear something here that you said already, understand that you have our respect. We're not just trying to bite off your shit, but we're going to say similar things that we're probably going to say things you disagree with as well. We're not here to just bite off of people's content. We're not here to just simply upload other people's content, but understand that there's an understanding between men. And we're going to be breaking down some of your videos as well, because you guys have a lot to offer. You know, you guys have a lot to offer. So we will be breaking down a lot of videos in the manosphere. We're going to be breaking down some of the videos that we see among the feminists, you know, out there. Oh, I also want to give a shout out to a guy that will probably never hear this. Replicant Fish. He's a guy in the UK that, you know, he's growing in the manosphere. I think he's got like close to 80,000 subscribers. But I guess he's more on the MG Toe side, but he is the best I've ever heard on the MG Toe side. So, you know, there are other guys that I really personally, they rub me the wrong way. But as a content creator, as somebody that supports men out there, I think that there's this guy, Coach Greg Adams. I don't like the guy that much, but I respect him. You know, even the guys that I really don't see eye to eye with understand that from man to man, you know, men who want other men to be the best versions of themselves, I respect what you guys are doing, whether I agree with you or not. And that's really what we're building this on. So, you got any closing? You got anything in closing?
Man, pretty much I've said most of what I feel like. Make sure that you guys follow. And, you know, this is going to be a space where we can actually have some really, really intriguing conversations and have a really good time while doing it, man. That's pretty much all I got to say.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fucking fun.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a lot of fucking fun. Yo, Simplistics, thank you so much for the love. you know, the setup is going to get better. I guarantee that the setup is going to be better. I'm telling you, this is just a super exciting venture, and I'm glad that we have a lot of you for the ride. So, yeah, that's that's what it is. We don't have our signature sign off yet. We will create one. So in the absence of a signature sign off,